Alright guys, still got the stuff out from opening my Gen Con things right here, some of it. I just wanted to separate it to see how much battery I had left, and we got enough, so. Alright. Ooh. An Osamu. I already just opened one, so I guess I have an extra. Cool. I also bought Ugar dice, and then they gave me Ugar dice, so now I have extra Ugar dice. And extra mushroom set. I literally already got this. And because I forgot if I did or not, so I got it at Gen Con with a coupon. Just a little coupon. But, so now I have an extra one of these. Alright. So I won't open that, because it's in my other video. But I have a few boxes to open. Jandar. We got the, Paragons of the New Alliance, which in the lore they mentioned a Paragon, which is kind of funny. Might of the New Alliance. The Gen Con Champion Army. The Clockwork Combine Research Expedition. And these figures all look really good too. And this was also part of the championship army here. And I really like the Samurai Horseman, but Crooked Crew of the Clockwork Combine. And then the battle box also has somebody that was in the World Champion. A couple people here. And some other powerful figures. So this is going to be a really good set. I'm going to do that last. Now, these are unpainted, unlike the promos I got. But let's start with reading the lore of the Clockwork Combine stuff. As a wellspring storm rages above Valhalla, the Valkyrie generals from New Alliances and send... Valkyrie generals form new alliances and send their strongest and craftiest warriors into the vast complex of interconnected caverns known as Murkheim. Within its labyrinthian halls lie untold secrets, including the remnants of the Citadel, an ancient city built by the mysterious Erolar Society of Valhalla's past. So I wonder if we'll ever get some of those Kyrie. It says, Einar and Valark, seeing the opportunity for great profit, have joined forces under the name of Clockwork Combine. Their expeditions return to the surface laden with ancient technology and the raw materials needed to create even more. And here's the figures if you do get them painted. One of my favorite Renegade has made is this one. Apparently, samurai horses that they rode were pretty small. Some people were mentioning that. But he looks so good with all those colors and stuff. I'm going to have to really try hard to get him looking that good. Deadeye Dan and Dernipia. She's going to be very interesting. And actually, Deadeye Dan is going to make a lot of interesting Lawman builds. You could make Elon Fafua Lawman since he's on Valark. Or an all-time do Zelrig. That's a common one people are saying. I guess Dernipia could be one. A lot of people. Anybody could be one. Kamanawa could be one. Alright. Cool. So, you get the glyph here with the blood cursed blade that the samurai gets, and this silver badge that Guilty puts on people. Why do I have 4 cards? Oh, the blades card, probably. Yep. I don't know why it's blue, but you get Guilty. Guilty McReach 2.0. The Blood Cursed Blade. Takanawa Kaiga. I'm very happy about this figure. I actually had a hand in making him as good as he is. So, and then Dernipia here. Dernipia is a lot more interesting than I was thinking. So try to figure out what build you guys are going to put her in, because she can be quite strong in an army. All these can be, obviously. The other two are in the World Championship. They won first place. Okay, so I need something to compare. Let's see. Berksaw. His horse isn't huge either. They actually might have been looking at that when they decided. Those are about the same size horse. Pretty close. That's pretty good. I don't remember what size he was supposed to be. Large 6. I mean, I think that's what Burke says, so cool. There's a lot of detail in there, so I know I'm going to be able to get a lot of nice coloring. I like it, I like it. Alright, let's stick them over there. The samurai are building their power. I'll just put all the cards over here. I don't want to read all of them. But yeah, Guilty can basically make people lawmen. The samurai can attack and move twice in a turn, which makes him one of the fastest figures in the game now. If you're talking about flat ground, I think he is the fastest in the game. Actually, he is, yeah. He's faster than Cyprian, and he's faster than, oh, what's his name? The teleporting Muro. Can't think of the Overlord. Can't think of his name. Alright. Alright, Dernipia is an interesting one. She's got a saw, she's got a potion that's like steaming in the art. She's some sort of draconian being from Einar's territory. And she has a Kyrie and a draconic wing, perhaps? Or two different Kyrie wings. But yeah, basically she can heal your armies. You can heal hard to kill an army. Figures like Mal or somebody who has a glyph like Serpentor, and make them much harder to kill. That actually, there might have been, if someone was experimenting with her more, she may have been able to be in the top 8. She can be good. Sometimes you need to slow roll a little bit with her though, but she is able to get bonding too, so that can be nice. Dernipia and Guilty McCreech. I wish he could grab people with his arm, but he's gonna make the lawman much better since he can make anybody a lawman, and also Nishi can bond with Samurai and Lawman and move himself, which is why they did so good, was because of he needed Nishi, this guy, a strong samurai who was him, and then the champion chose Gimbal to be the lawman that he made into a lawman, which is probably better than Elan Fafua to take care of troopers since he can ignore wounds. But yeah, this is nice, solid. Like, this arm's pretty tough. Not moving much when I tap on it. I like him. Guilty 2.0. Alright. Now for the big dragon we spoke of earlier. Volaric fans are getting lots of stuff this time. And New Alliance fans. Anyway, let's see. I think the top part's always the same. Einar and Volar. Oh, it says the same thing there too, because it's Einar and Volar. No reason to read that again. adventure each month. They got things you can scan to do the scenarios and paint guidances and stuff. So make sure you're looking at your boxes for the different things they might offer. So we got his card. We got the pieces of the dragon one. This is big. And we got more glyphs. The wings, the flaming head, and whatnot. I really like the colors that Gimbal was. I probably should have just got all these pre-painted. But since I only have to paint them once, I didn't. But they all look really good. I've seen people using them at Gen Con. So this is Gimbal. This is the meaty portion of Gimbal without the wings. And you're already bigger than Elan Fufuo even. And we'll show next to a dragon once we put the other pieces on. Someone's outside. I was just looking out there. But we got some wings. Those going pretty nicely. I wouldn't say it's too soft or hard. You got the hands that push on. Those are a little tougher. That one's a little tougher. But that means it won't just fall off. There we go. The wings are just coming off. There we go. So when you pick this one up, you kind of got to pick it up by the tail or the body. Gimbal, gimbal, gimbal. All right. There's the head. Very spiky blade-like tail. So this is a new dragon that is... It has the flame like Mimring, but it also has a lot more melee going on with the claws. More like Charos. Oops, did I put those on wrong? Yeah, I think so. I think technically that should be the other side. Oh, yeah, one in a little easier. There. There we go. And then, what else? Flying, but it can all be taken away, so it's definitely different. Different than anything we've had since it comes apart. I think I'm probably still going to do a bronze-ish color and some green, but maybe some others. This one's going to take a lot of paint. Let's show next to Nilfheim. I always like showing Nilfheim for dragon comparison, especially since Nilfheim stands up. So size-wise, there we go. Basically the same height, just a fuzz taller than Nilfheim. Cool. And heavier because of the new material. But can lose those pieces. But this dragon survives, I think, the longest. Charos has always had the longest survivability with 5 defense, 9 life. And this one won't always survive that long because it's, what, 4 defense, 6 life minimum? But maximum it can be higher than that, obviously. I think typically it'll be maybe like 9 life, 4 defense. So it's right there with Charos surviving the longest. Gimbal is, so very interesting, cool figure. But the Gimbal is actually this little one right here. But it's a cool figure. I like it. And I think for Valaric's army, it'll help people start liking Valark more. Getting more interesting things like that. Because now Valark has a dragon, orcs, and Elin Fufu the pirate, that big monster. And then the Vorid. There's a lot of Vorid, but they're pretty interesting for the most part. Tanukis are pretty good and whatnot. Here's the snipers. This is like, someone said a kangaroo mouse, because it was like rat tail. It's not a bunny like I was saying. But he looks cool. The weasel with the top hat looks pretty neat. It's kind of funny. Because people used to hunt small mammals and other animals with hats like that. And then you got this mole man with this big bucket on his back. I don't know what that's about. He likes to snack a lot or something. But they have a lot of detail on them as well, which is cool. I like that. Alright. Let's continue. Okay, now we have this Ugar box with Kariga and the bears. So I'll just read this part since it's new. Jandar and Ugar have forged the New Alliance, a fragile pact built on might and vigilance. Their combined forces scour the Citadel for ancient knowledge that could return summoned soldiers to their homes. And the bears have those words, might and vigilance, on their cards. That's kind of fun. Fun play on words. And we got more big figures. Big is fun though. What is this? Oh, they just gave you couple free glyphs. So let's see what comes in this. The move +1 glyph. That's a good one. Zigvold. And ancient attack reroll. So that's, I think the Levi took one we already were getting for certain events, but still cool. And it's a treasure glyph, so I think you just use it the one time. Or no, let's just be... No. You just carry it, because... Okay, yeah. It's that kind. Anyways. I'll put that over there. That's cool that you get that on top of everything else. Whoops. And I guess that's what else is in here for cards. You got, yep, the glyph cards. The bears. They're good. They were in one of the top 8 armies with Sergeant Drake. Great assassins to hunt down Destro or even Serpentor. To weaken someone's army in general. And then Karega. Great at wrecking pods. Especially after she takes damage. And she survives quite long. Hits hard and everything. For 140, you can't really hate those stats. And this is Karega. So put her again. Well, let's see. What should I put her next to? Put her next to Torkel, I suppose. A one base figure, one space figure, taller than Torkel, aside from his blade he's holding. And very grotesque. Shrimp body. She's like a shrimp. She digs around and swims and bursts out. I suppose that's the point of that. But that's massive. To put it into perspective again, here's a human next to her. She's freaking as tall as some people's houses. 2-story houses. With like an attic crawl space. As long as a bus, if she wasn't coiled up. That is a monster. Got lots of big figures. Alright. These bears are also bigger than the other bears. So the other bears were kind of small compared to polar bears anyway, in my opinion. This would be more of like a polar bear size, but bigger than some other bears. But yeah, they're really big. But I don't think it's a bad thing. They can hit really hard and they can be like a hero. Like when one is left, they get 7 move, 5 attack, 5 defense with 2 life. So I like their weapons too. They're primitive, teethy weapons. Sharp edged glaive. A couple axes for this one. Missing a horn there because they've been battling so much. They will be very fun because of, I mean, even in this pack alone, they can bond with Karega, Joan of Arc, Kankan, Isamu. There's so many options there. And I like the options with all the new stuff. It means you're going to fight somebody a little different every time. Alright. Kankan, that's the one we're excited about. But also Joan of Arc. My friend Connor will be liking that quite a bit. Kankan's one of his top 3. And he's a church guy, so Christian, I should just say. There we go. So, it gives you some glyphs. It makes more sense that this would come in the Jandar pack. The Spear of Gerda. Defense Aura, that would be Raylan. And Sword of Guthar, Attack Aura. Thin Sword. Nice. Alright. The cards. For all the glyphs in the figures. Oops. There we go. Joan of Arc, a very nice 40-point figure. Now, Claire was getting lucky, but in a scenario we did, Joan of Arc was doing more work than the whole team because she kept getting her faithful spirit, Shield of Faith, and avoiding damage. So she's going to be an interesting one. Kankan actually had a hand in making him a bit better as well. He has that 5 aura. I had a part in that. So I'm happy about that. He's not too OP, but he's definitely nice. And then Frizz is very cool. I faced him twice. Once against Lee Huff, and once against Anakin. I like his art a lot, and that gun is cool. I think I'll definitely be using Frizz a bit. Joan of Arc. Wonder what she looks like compared to a knight, right? Or McDurk. She's more of a knight, but she can go with the McDurks too. Maybe, well, he is crouching down a little bit. She's a little bigger than him. But that's fine. She's a hero. She needs to stand out a little more. But yeah, the details with the saint symbol and stuff, that's going to look really nice when I paint her. And she's going to be pretty easy to paint as well. Kankan, he is a Kyrie, so he is supposed to be bigger. I do want to show him next to the old one. Because the old wings in like the beginning of Heroscape were just not. Look at that. It's just one solid wing with little like lines. And he looked good before, don't get me wrong. Especially his body. But now those wings are much bigger, more open. He has a cool cape. That's a cool blue color that I'm going to keep that way. And you can just tell he's been around a while now. Whoops. But he's going to be a lot more valuable in people's armies now. You'll probably see him in some pod armies and some bear armies and stuff. Okay. Frizzed. He's about the size of a gallery with his wings not up. He's cool. Pause this real quick. Alright, I still got some battery left. Enough to do this battle box. This cool Battle of Black Scar, Secrets of the Citadel box. So obviously people like Sudema. She's in the battle box, obviously, but she's the cover person. Which, I mean, he would be in the shadows. The shadows fighting. But she was also on the shirt fighting the samurai horseman. Now she's fighting this samurai. Clearly the Revnus Vidar people don't like the Valar Kainar people. And neither does Ular or Quilla like either of them. They seem like the biggest two enemies. And the New Alliance and the Pact have the least amount of enemies, but the New Alliance doesn't need enemies because they are enemies with themselves. So the Pact is actually the most in the best position in lore. But I also think Einar Valark makes a lot of sense. Alright, I got that off. It includes some shadow, obviously. It shows some figures around there. Nothing hidden yet. I guess I can read this. Here we go. Rumors are spreading that the forces of Vidar and Revna have formed an alliance called the Umbral Covenant. Their forces have been spotted engaging in suspicious activity deep in the mysterious caverns of Murkheim. In response, the Clockwork Combine, a new alliance between the Valkyrie generals Einar and Valark, have dispatched an elite team to investigate this plot. Can they uncover the Covenant's secrets, or will they be silenced and lost in the dark depths forever? Who do you think would win? I mean, to be honest, like, Nishi, one-on-one into Sudema or Agent SI4X, he could probably handle himself against one of them. And Kane has some nice stats. And then Blink versus the Bird. It's hard to say. I would... It should be pretty even, but I kind of feel like Vidar Revna has the better chance there. With Sudema and SI4X. I guess you can find out for yourselves if you do the scenario. Well, I don't know if there's a scenario, but I assume there is. Since it's a battle box, the battle box, you get all the dice and everything. So I get 2 more small mushrooms here, which are still big enough to hide behind for a smaller medium figure. As you can see, Blink can easily hide behind one of those. Oh, leave that there. So it has like dungeon, ancient terrain, shadow, mushrooms. Blink, he was in the winning Gen Con army. This little 20-point guy. Prairie Dog Lawman here. Throw him there. SI4X. General Grievous. He's going to be hard to paint. I want to make sure I make his cape really cool with the hexagons. He's the enemy of the Admiral, but he's way over there, so I'm not going to grab him for size, but he's a little taller than humans. He would definitely be scary with that blade and claw hand. He's going to be... He is cool. He's a really cool piece. I hope I see him. Maybe I'll even try to make a really good army with him sometime and use him soon. I know a lot of people really love that guy. Then, Corvin. One of the best beasts now. Stealth flying and some solid stats. And Sudema can attack through Corvin and some others also. Well, not attack. Use their ability. So that'll be fun. Kanak. People are a little unenthused about. I wish the flashlight could have canceled Shadow or something. But Kanak is nice in the lawman builds because instead of losing turns, Kanak can just keep using them and get some decent attacks out so you're not totally screwed. So that can be valuable. Especially in some smaller builds. Sudema. I don't love the tattered clothing thing going on, but overall she looks really good. I like how her snakes are definitely living looking. And play-wise, I'm gonna love using her with undead and Ascenic armies. She's gonna be so fun. She's powerful. And of course, Nishi for those Lawman Samurai builds you want to use. He brings them together so that Lawman and Samurai don't suck like they used to in old Heroscape. Now they can actually win Gen Con. Alright, we're almost done here. Alright, we got all their cards, of course. You get light blue order markers, another shade of blue, that's neat. Wounds, dice, all that stuff that you need to play. There's 2 books here. One shows SI4X, Blink, Corvin, and Kanak. And there's some scenarios. And, oh, Kanak's Journal. 5th of Scam Dig, the Dark Month. Uh-oh. I guess I'll read it really quick. 4 days into the march, and it's the kind of quiet that makes my tusks ache. Kanak's at work, so tusks. In the quiet, there's nothing to think about but your ashes, aches, and your sins. And me, I'd rather think about the aches. Maybe everybody does in the end. Maybe that's why we keep sinning. Yeah, this group's not the best group of people. Nishi's probably solid, but... I'm on my way to dig. Officially, I'm digging for buried secrets. But I expect to find bodies, too. I'm not the first one Valaric sent. She's a real piece of work, like a boiling bell flower. She'll draw you in with the voice of an angel and the smile of your own grandma, and then send you 4 days into the aching quiet and to die with every other sucker in her miles-long game. Okay, so Valaric is a nasty person. There's also bios here for everybody. Wow. won't spoil the rest for you guys. You can read that yourself. And then there's also visions of allies in the back. Interesting. Huh, maybe I'll read that another time. But what do we got? Content. Yeah. Then you got the rule book, of course. If you're new to the game, there's also introduction. I might have to go back and read these. But as you can see, myself and Alex had a little bit of something to do with this, and some other people. So that's fun. But yeah, that's all I'm going to do for now. I'm going to read these later when my phone's not about to die, just to make a separate video too. So hopefully you guys enjoyed me opening all that. Here's some more ancient terrain, by the way, so you get more. Now you know what you can get from all that stuff. Alright, I like what I saw. See you guys next time.